comment,
and subscribe for more content.
Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
What's up, guys? Welcome to this edition of a Funko Popcast. I am DK Wrestler.
And I am MD Shady.
And in today's podcast, we got a pretty decent selection of Funko Pops to discuss about, which the majority of those Funko Pops falls within the subcategory of the Ad Icons lineup known as Pop Foodies. Still a great selection of Funko Pops compared to the last couple of weeks. But random fact I wanted to get out there, because out of all the days that we are recording today is April 20th. Today actually marks the 10-year anniversary of the release of the song Orphan Tears by Your Favorite Martian, which is pretty crazy. Anyone who doesn't know what Your Favorite Martian is, it's a YouTube comedic band made by YouTuber Ray William Johnson. But Orphan Tears, which was a popular song they did, came out exactly 10 years ago today as of this recording. And I made sure, I think I found that out yesterday, actually. So I'm like, got to write that down right now for this podcast. But yeah, other than that, we might as well just kick off with our segment of What's the Haps, which those brand new to the podcast. What's the Haps is a segment where we basically talk about what we've been doing the past week, whether it's watching movies, TV shows, playing video games, etc., especially since we are still stuck in this lockdown. So I know for MD's sake, you probably haven't been golfing as of late because they closed golfing off. So MD, what's the haps with you?
Yes, unfortunately, there is no more golf for the time being, which really sucks because I believe I discussed on the podcast how I'd bought a brand new set of clubs for a pretty decent price point. So it sucks that I can't get out there and use them right now. But with any luck, hopefully I'll be back out on the green in no time. But what is the haps with me? First off, one thing that I forgot to mention on the last edition of What's the Haps is I was watching Solar Opposites. I talked about that show, obviously, when the Pops got announced. I decided to watch it, and I really like the show. I might even like it more than Rick and Morty, if I'm being completely honest. And that's kind of a bold statement. I get that. But it's a really good show, and if you haven't checked it out, definitely do so because it's great. I've been rearranging my gaming room because I just bought a futon. So I got these two old crappy chairs that I had in that room out, and I got a futon there now, which is awesome. I actually slept on it last night, and obviously because it folds out into a bed, and it's not that bad. It's a little stiff, but it's pretty comfy. So my gaming room is almost complete, and I'm very happy with how it's turning out. I even managed to play some Mario Kart Double Dash on the GameCube last night in that room. And honestly, I don't think there'll ever be a Mario Kart game that I like more than Double Dash. I really enjoy that game. I've been watching Family Guy again because I always find that that's just like a go-to show to watch when I'm bored or just when I'm like getting ready for bed or something. Besides that, I guess not much. I'm not working very often, which kind of sucks, but at the same time, gives me more time to set up my game room, which is super sweet. So what's the haps with you, DK?
Besides filming content for the channel, the only thing I've been doing, and I will mention this in basically 3 words or 4 letters realistically, and that is DC Extended Universe. I have been shredding watching the DCEU movies. I've completed all of the DCEU movies now. The 4-hour Zack Snyder's Justice League. Holy So that was a super long movie. I thought I would get through 4 hours pretty quick, honestly, but man, it just dragged, and I was like, holy geez. Like, I thought it was over at one point, but there was like, oh, still have 2.5 hours to go. All right. I will mention, actually, now that I finished all the DCEU movies, what my favorite DCEU movie is. And believe it or not, it is not Zack Snyder's Justice League. Although a lot of the big DC fans like Zack Snyder's Justice League, which I totally understand, I honestly would have to say that my favorite DCEU movie was the Justice League. No, I'm just kidding. That was a fucking abomination. That was a terrible movie. My favorite was Wonder Woman. Believe it or not, out of all the movies, I went into it thinking that I wasn't going to like Wonder Woman, but that first movie released in 2017 was my favorite DCEU movie. I felt everything that went on as terms of the story, and some of the moments in that movie were so good. Where would I rank Zack Snyder's Justice League though? I'd probably have to say either 3 or 4 if I did a top 5 list, but I wouldn't say it's number 2. I think number 2 I'd have to say is Man of Steel, which shout out to filmmaker Mike. I think you'd appreciate that. All right, so I guess it's time to move on to the first set of Funko Pops, which we'll divide into like 3 sections. So, this first set of Funko Pops, April 12th to essentially April 13th, which the Funko Pops that we have listed here. First off, we have a Black Light Hulk figure that was released on the Funko Shop as a Funko Shop exclusive. And of course, in that same day on April 12th, it had sold out. And then moving on to April 13th, Funko had announced a pop of John Waters for the Pop Icons lineup, which that is expected to release as early as June 2021. Then on that same day, Funko had re-announced the G.I. Joe Retro Toys lineup of pops that were announced during Funko Fair, except they actually added a new pop to that on the Funko app, which is an EB Games slash GameStop exclusive Cobra Red Ninja, which that is also expected to release as early as June 2021. And then the last set of pops for this specific date, we have ourselves the 2 pops that were featured in March 2021's Marvel Collector's Core subscription box, which was themed Deadpool's 30th anniversary, which we got ourselves the Dino Pool Black and Red version, and we have Ninja Deadpool, which of course at this point, the box is currently unavailable to purchase on Amazon's website, but will be available within the next month or two. So, kicking off with the Black Light Hulk figure, I enjoy this figure. I think this actually is one of the coolest Black Light Funko figures that Funko has done thus far, not only for the Marvel lineup, but in general of what they've done for the Black Light series. And it just so happens, as we are recording this today, was the release of a little bit of a surprise video of predicting the next wave of Black Light Marvel pops. So, if you guys haven't seen that yet, I'll either put that as a little suggestion thingy right now at the top, or it'll be at the end screen. But this pop looks really cool. I'm really excited to see how well this green pops out, and especially that purple. I think those are 2 colors that I feel like pop out really well as terms to black light. I'm really excited to see this pop in person, and it's actually available now on Pop Culture as of today. So if anyone outside of the US wanted to purchase a Black Light Hulk figure, you can do so on Pop Culture's website, including any fellow Canadians. Then we got John Waters, which I had no idea who this guy is. I kind of still don't know who this guy is, except I did a little research. I think he was the director of a few movies, including Hairspray, or at least the original Hairspray. There's actually a decent amount of hype. There's people who really want this pop. Then we got Cobra Red Ninja from G.I. Joe. This is a not bad looking pop. I'm liking the overall design and how well the red stands out in this attire, of course, probably because it is called Cobra Red Ninja. I couldn't see it being any other color besides red. It's got some cool detail, and this is one of the first pops that I've actually seen as terms to looking at the glam shots besides the Boba Fett Pop Deluxe that's coming out for the Bounty Hunter collection that features the new GameStop exclusive sticker, which kind of almost looks like the Michael sticker, which I still don't really know how I feel about that. I feel like it's a little plain. And then we got ourselves the Deadpool pops for the Marvel Collector's Core subscription box, which we got the Dino Pool. This is okay. I totally understand that they made the reverse color for this because they kind of already figured that the original Dino Pool was going to sell very well out of that Deadpool 30th anniversary lineup. So they might as well thought, hey, let's just do a reverse color and then basically people will still buy it. I don't plan on getting this, although the normal one does look cool, and I still don't think I'm going to plan on getting that. Then we got ourselves the Ninja Deadpool. I'm kind of liking the design of it, like mostly because of the detail involving the ninja throwing stars going through the head of Deadpool, and especially what looks to be the end of like a bow and arrow there going through the head of Deadpool. It's not one of the worst Deadpool pops, but it's not one of the best Deadpool pops either.
Okay, we start off with a blacklight pop, and that is always a good thing. This is really cool. I really enjoy this blacklight Hulk. I mean, there's not a lot of crazy color changes, but I kind of like that idea to keep it nice and simple. The Hulk has a really simple design, so keep it like that. If there was one thing that I could change about this pop, I would add sort of like a blue highlight to the hair. I just feel like the hair looks a little plain, and I feel like a blue highlight would look really, really cool for this blacklight pop. But besides this thing is awesome, and yeah, I'll probably order one of these. John Waters, this is pretty funny. This is pretty cool. I like this pop. It looks good. One of my only, I guess, experiences with John Waters is that he is in The Creep by Lonely Island featuring Nicki Minaj. He's in like the very beginning of the song and then he's in the end of the song. So that's pretty much all I know him from, but I know he is very well known. And yeah, the pop looks good. I mean, I really like the pencil mustache. I think that looks good. And the kind of changing of skin tone around the eyes also looks really, really nice. Cobra Red Ninja, this is pretty cool. This is probably one of my favorite G.I. Joe pops so far. It looks good. At first, when I was looking through these photos, I was like, oh, they're doing another Fortnite pop. And then I realized, okay, no, it's G.I. Joe. Thank God. Feel like we should be kind of done with Fortnite pops by this time. And then we have more Deadpools. I cannot wait for this year to be over just so that hopefully I don't really have to talk about Deadpool anymore. And like I said previously, it's not because I hate Deadpool. It's just this is getting ridiculous. There's too many of these pops now, in my opinion. But I do like this version of Dino Pool better than the red one. So that's kind of cool. And then the Ninja's all right. I mean, you summed it up pretty well. It's not the best, but it's not one of the worst either.
All right, so moving on now, April 14th had an entire day of ad icons slash foodies Funko Pops, which is pretty surprising. So, kicking off, we got ourselves a Walmart exclusive Moon Pie from, of course, Moon Pie. Then we got ourselves a Fruity Pebbles box, followed by a Funko Shop exclusive Lucky Charms box. Then we got a Kool-Aid packet that will be grape flavored and exclusive to Funko HQ. We got a White Castle slider from, of course, White Castle. Then a Kraft macaroni and cheese blue box from Kraft, a hot tamales box, and then we got ourselves a Pringles can to end off those Foodies Pops, in which all of those Foodies Pops are expected to release as early as July 2021. Then we got ourselves the Tapatio Man from Tapatio, which that is expected to release as early as June 2021. All right, so kicking off with these Foodies Pops. Moon Pie. I recognize Moon Pie. I don't remember if I've had a moon pie before, maybe. It looks like a Joe Louis to me, but not really in a sense. I think the design looks pretty cool. You got the little face on the moon pie, and it's holding a box of moon pie. So I guess that's really cool with a thumbs up. The cereal box for Fruity Pebbles, I guess that's pretty cool also because it's holding a bowl. And of course, you got Fred and Barney on the box with the Fruity Pebbles logo. Then we have a Lucky Charms box, which, I mean, this is pretty cool because we haven't had a Lucky Charms pop since, of course, the Lucky the Leprechaun since like 2017, 2018 with the normal Funko Shop exclusive and then the Funko Shop exclusive that was glow in the dark that was released, I think, a year later, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, it doesn't surprise me that this will be a Funko Shop exclusive to kind of go with that trend. I do like the design of this Foodies pop compared to the other ones, mainly because, you know, you got the Lucky Charms logo with Lucky the Leprechaun on the box, the General Mills logo. And I like the idea that it's kind of got like a marshmallow hovering over the hand there of the Lucky Charms cereal box. And it's also holding a spoon. I think that's really cool. I won't be surprised that in the near future, if Funko decides to once again expand this lineup by making more Foodies Pops, but making each of the marshmallow characters. So you would have the red heart that is in the cereal box's hands. You could have the shooting star, the Irish hat with the clover leaf on it, and the rainbow, and so many of the other marshmallows that has been in these Lucky Charms cereal boxes before. So I wouldn't be surprised if Funko decides to do that as a potential future Lucky Charms Foodies pop. Then we got ourselves the Kool-Aid grape flavored packet that will be going to Funko HQ, which I don't remember besides, I think, the Mothman last year, that we've gotten a Funko HQ exclusive pop. It's been a while. It's rare to kind of see a Funko HQ exclusive pop. And do I think this is a perfect one for Funko HQ? Maybe, maybe not though. But I can see people kind of having a mixed reaction because there's probably people who are collecting these foodies and they've already gotten the normal cherry Kool-Aid packet, and then they've gotten the tropical punch packet that was a Hot Topic exclusive. But now also with the pandemic and a lot of travel restrictions, how a lot of these collectors are going to try and be able to get this Funko HQ exclusive, unless, of course, you are living near the HQ, then that's easier for them. But of course, we'd probably have to deal with like eBay and all that to get this certain Funko Pop. And I also see people kind of think they're making a great packet, but they haven't made an actual grape flavored Kool-Aid Man pop yet, which I feel like that's one of the only times where Funko fanatics are actually kind of clamoring at Funko to make some sort of color swap is with flavors of the Kool-Aid Man, because once again, you can do tropical punch, you can do grape, orange. I don't see why they haven't made a actual Kool-Aid Man of different colors yet, because it seems so notorious for Funko to do color swaps on so many different things, and I feel like people would buy them for the basically the points that I've mentioned already. So I won't be surprised, of course, they still make more Kool-Aid packets. It's definitely something they're going to keep doing in the future. Then we got the White Castle slider, which I really like this slider because it's different from the foodies, considering that it's wearing the kind of packaging on its head, and then you got the little face there. I think my only gripe about this, and the fact that I think a lot of people brought this up, is I don't think an actual White Castle slider contains lettuce. I think the White Castle slider is only cheese in it, because you can see within the arms and part of the bottom of the Funko Pop we have here that the White Castle slider has lettuce sticking out, which I don't think that's really all that accurate, but maybe they did it for the sake of maybe it's wearing a t-shirt inside. I don't know. It's hard to do these kinds of Funko Pops when you're making a Funko Pop of a food itself and just adding legs and arms to it. So it's already a little awkward. So I think they're making it a little more human in that aspect. And seeing this White Castle slider Funko Pop makes me want to see Harold and Kumar Funko Pops. I don't know the likeliness of that. Then we got the macaroni and cheese blue box, as they're calling it. This is pretty cool. You got the big spoon and you got the nice packaging. The only gripe about this, once again, is more of the fact that for us Canadians, there's a lot of Canadians that were griping about this because they think that Funko should make another version of this and call it Kraft Dinner. Because here in Canada, we call the Kraft macaroni and cheese as Kraft Dinner and not Kraft macaroni and cheese. So who knows? Maybe Funko, a future Fan Expo exclusive Foodies pop right here, is Kraft Dinner Foodies. I know I'm throwing you ideas, Funko, and then you're just going to take our ideas and make profits off them. Then we got hot tamales, which I will say first and foremost, I absolutely hate hot tamales. They are so disgusting. I can't stand them. I can't stand any of the candies that are like that spicy cinnamon flavor. I think it's just ugh. I can't stand them. I'm hoping now, because it's made by the same company, that they make Mike and Ike's Funko Pops in the near future, whether it's the box or they can even do the actual candy flavors. Then we got ourselves the Pringles can, which was one of my favorite foodie announcements for these reveals. This is pretty cool. I'm loving the detail involving the fact that it's holding a Pringles chip. Someone pointed out a little bit that this is kind of not detailed because realistically, most of the time when you get Pringles, the majority of the chips are cracked anyway. So why is it just this nice, crispy, clean chip there, not cracked at all? But it's still pretty cool. And a lot of people weren't liking the fact that the character has a yellow mustache for the pop, but I feel that it's okay just because you already have the black mustache for the logo, and it kind of brings out the red and essentially the white and black with this this can. So I think it's cool that they did make this yellow so that it makes this whole Foodies pop kind of stand out there. I think it's pretty cool that they did a Pringles can. And a lot of people are thinking, why isn't there the Pringles mascot? But at least in my mind, I don't really remember there actually being a Pringles mascot besides that head there. But I think MD actually mentioned off the recording that there is a Pringles mascot, which I think he will elaborate that when he discusses about this pop. Then we got ourselves the Tapatio Man, which I think I'm pronouncing that right. I feel like that's the right pronunciation. Maybe I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but I've never heard of this hot sauce brand at all. I am more of a Frank's Red Hot guy or a what the heck is that other one I can't remember the name of for some reason. I can't remember. I don't know why. But anyways, where I'm getting at here, it's cool that they're doing an ad icon for a hot sauce company because that does give me hopes that we will get a Frank's Red Hot either ad icon or Foodies in the near future. Foodies, of course, doing the hot sauce bottle. And people are thinking, how do you do a Frank's Red Hot ad icon? 2 words, old lady. You do the old lady from the commercial. And I actually just found out recently she is actually Canadian and she lives in Vancouver and she's almost 100 years old and still kicking. That means Frank's Red Hot. She's probably going to croak pretty soon. So I think you need to give me a call so I can be your new spokesperson for Frank's Red Hot because I put that on everything. Back to this pop, pretty cool. And there's actually quite a bit of hype considering that people thought that this would get like cancel cultured because of it being essentially a Mexican. But there's actually people in the comments that are saying, I am Mexican and this does not offend me. So that's some pretty good hype there that even people from Mexico aren't offended that they called this pop the Tapatio Man and that they're making this pop. So really cool that they're doing this.
Okay, I have a lot to say, and unfortunately, DK made it a little less for me to say because a lot of things that I was thinking he had said. But that being said, let's just get started with the moon pie, which is all right. I guess the first thing I need to get off my head before I start talking about these pops is I'm no longer a huge fan of the Foodies pops. When that first wave kind of came out where you have the Coke can and the Kool-Aid packet and stuff like that, I was like, okay, this is an art idea, but it's kind of weird. And now clearly they really want to extend it. I'm just not quite there with it just because I love your traditional ad icons so much that I feel like this is not really an ad icon, but I'm glad that they don't just call them ad icons, that they are like Foodies. The moon pie's all right. I kind of like the idea of them doing a plush that is different than the pop. I find that cool. But I mean, he's holding a box of moon pies, which is pretty decent. And honestly, there's some good detail in that box. So that's cool. The Fruity Pebbles. This one is pretty cool as well. I like how the feet are kind of like Fred and Barney's feet, how he's not like wearing shoes. He's got those huge toes. But my question is why is there not an exclusive if we don't see it down the line, or even just have a chase version of this pop and have it be the Cocoa Pebbles? That just makes a lot of sense to me. But if we can see Cocoa Pebbles as like a Hot Topic exclusive down the line, that'd be all right. Lucky Charms. This one's all right. Yeah, you explained it pretty well. Makes sense to be a Funko Shop exclusive because of the Lucky the Leprechauns that we've gotten in the past. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about a lot of these, but this one's all right. Then the Grape Kool-Aid Packet. This is cool. I like this. This is one of the ones that I wanted to see as soon as I seen that we had more than just the cherry flavor. Unfortunately, yeah, it's going to Funko HQ, but maybe I can get my first Funko HQ sticker by obtaining this pop somehow. And yeah, I completely agree with you by what you said about how it's surprising that we haven't seen different versions of the Kool-Aid Man, considering we just seen a new color variant of a fucking dinosaur Deadpool. So why not just give us orange Kool-Aid Man, the grape Kool-Aid Man? There's so many you could do. Give us an ad icon moments of him smashing through a wall for all I care. That would be wicked. But this is just kind of mediocre. Then we have the White Castle slider. This is pretty cool. I don't know if I if I like the fact that he has jeans and like sneakers on. I feel like that just puts you off like, ooh, shoe sandwich. Nice. And it's kind of weird that the logo is upside down. I get the reasoning for it because obviously the box is turned upside down, but just for a marketing standpoint, it kind of seems counterproductive, I guess would be the word I'm looking for. But this is pretty cute, honestly. I really like this pop. And then we have the Kraft macaroni and cheese, and I was pretty upset when Dylan discussed this pop because he pretty much stole the words out of my mouth. Besides, I was just going to say have a Kraft dinner variant and just have it be a Canada exclusive. Fan Expo would be cool too, but then you know how those lines are over at Fan Expo, and then we end up not getting it, which would really suck. So I think they should just make another one of these and have it be Kraft dinner with that Maple Leaf Canada exclusive sticker. And then we have the hot tamales, and I'm actually very surprised that you do not like hot tamales. I feel like that's just a candy that you would like for some reason. This one's all right. I actually don't mind this one. I don't know why I don't mind this one. It's very weird. I like how there's fire on the piece of candy in his hand. That's a pretty funny touch. Then we have the Pringles can, one of my favorite announcements for the foodies, I guess. I am disappointed that it is not an ad icon of the Pringle guy, whatever his name is. And as DK was saying, we had discussed it a few days back. He was saying, well, I feel like the reason why there's no ad icon is because it's just his head. You never see his body, which isn't true. I remember back in the day, there was some kind of contest or something going on with Pringles, and they, to market it, they had a guy like in a mascot costume walking around whatever city they were filming in. And basically, it's the straight up Pringles head as the head, and then the body is like a full red like suit with like a yellow undershirt. So I feel like they could have just done that and it would have been really, really awesome. But I still do enjoy this pop. I like how, again, he's holding a Pringle in his hand. I don't mind the yellow mustache because I feel like down on that portion of a Pringles can, there is some kind of yellow detailing, anyways. So it makes it look a little more accurate to a can when you're looking at it, let's say from a distance. So that's kind of cool. I do really like this, but I really, really hope we do see a Pringles ad icon. And then the Tapatio guy. This is really cool. Yeah, if this got cancel cultured, that would just be ridiculous. I mean, just so ridiculous. I don't understand a lot of this cancel culture stuff because it's brutal. It's not making fun of anyone. It's like that's literally what the guy looks like on the thing. And I'm sure that's a real person. I don't think it's just some drawing they did like, oh, let's make a character for this hot sauce. It's probably a real person. But this pop looks good. And yes, it would be so cool to see a Frank's Red Hot ad icon of that lady. That would be so, so awesome. I believe the other hot sauce you were talking about was probably either Tabasco or Sriracha.
Tabasco is definitely what I was thinking of, but I also forgot about. Why am I just you just said it and I
Sriracha.
like I was about to say it and I had this weird brain fart like I forgot what it was and you just said it like less than 10 seconds ago. What is going on? And I'm telling you guys right away, I'm not partaking in 420 today, so that's not the reasoning of my brain fart right now.
So anyways, this pop does look really, really cool, and I will definitely be buying this to add on to my ever-growing ad icons collection.
So moving on, we're going to move on to the last four Funko Pops that we're going to discuss about today. Starting off on April 16th, Funko had announced a Funko Shop drop of a Diamond Collection Sorcerer Mickey, which of course actually surprisingly sold out that day on the Funko Shop, and it is since released also on Pop Culture for anyone outside of the US, including Canadians. Then on that same day, Funko had announced the next pop involved in the Year of the Shield set that will be Amazon exclusive, which we got ourselves Red Guardian, which this pop is officially available now on Amazon US's website. Then on April 17th, the Cincinnati Reds have announced their own exclusive Funko Pop of Eric Davis, which this is available for select fans at that April 17th game, but fans will also get a chance at the April 21st game to obtain this Funko Pop. And the last Funko Pops we're going to discuss about, and it's more Foodies Pops, are 7-Eleven Slurpee Foodies Pops, which we got ourselves four different flavors, which as shown on the Funko app, they are listed as flavors, which we have ourselves Cherry Slurpee, Blue Raspberry Slurpee, Pina Colada Slurpee, and Banana Slurpee, which all of these will be glitter pops and will all be exclusive to 7-Eleven, and it's unknown of when these will be released at 7-Eleven stores. So, kicking off with the Diamond Collection Sorcerer Mickey Pop. I don't really know how I feel about this. I think I'm a little mixed, of course, because I'm not really the biggest fan of Diamond Collection, of course, but parts of this Mickey Mouse Pop looks good with the Diamond Collection, especially the robe that he's wearing and part of any of the clothing that he's wearing looks really good. I don't know if I feel about the ears being, glittered like that, but overall, once again, like I mentioned about one of the Foodies pops, I can't remember what it was, or it was one of the other pop, or it was the Deadpool that I was mentioning in this case. This is not the worst Diamond Collection pop, but it's not the best Diamond Collection pop that Funko has made. Then we got ourselves Red Guardian for the Year of the Shield. Like I mentioned, I think it was the Winter Soldier that was the first pop involved in this set a few months ago. I was curious on what pops they were going to add to this Year of the Shield set, which they added Red Guardian, which actually totally makes sense because at least at this time we were supposed to be getting the release of the Black Widow movie that also features Red Guardian as a character played by David Harbour, who's in Stranger Things. So it totally makes sense that they're releasing it, especially around this time because we were supposed to get the release of Black Widow, like I mentioned, on May 7th, I believe, but has since been delayed to I believe the first week of July. I think it's July 9th in theaters and on Premier Access for Disney Plus. Other than that, I do like the idea of them making the comic book variant of the character simplistic as terms to the detail, but it's pretty detailed at the same time. So I'm excited to see what else is being added to the Year of the Shield. Of course, it's probably going to be characters involved more in the Captain America comic books. Then we got Eric Davis for the Cincinnati Reds, essentially. There's not really much to say. It's going to be the same opinion about all the baseball pops. They're a bit simplistic, but the detail goes with, whatever jersey they're wearing and the fact they have baseball platforms now, which is pretty cool. I know also because there was a couple Facebook groups that I'm a part of as terms to Funko where not only was there this pop, but I think there was 500 pops that are being given out that are silver chrome metallic pops like they've been doing with these baseball pops whenever they give them away at certain baseball games, but they didn't show that off, but I thought I'd mention it now so that in a future podcast we don't have to mention it at that point. But anyways, it's all right pop, and I'm sure there are people out there that really enjoy this pop if you're a fan of the Cincinnati Reds. And then last but not least, in my opinion, a pretty decent way to end off this podcast this week is the 7-Eleven Slurpee Pops. I never would have thought with the existence of the Foodies lineup, maybe they would eventually do 7-Eleven Slurpees, which is weird because we've seen the Icy Polar Bear, we've seen Slush Puppy as ad icons, but never thought, all right, with these Foodies, maybe they'll make a Slurpee, which I think it's great. Going through these flavors, I think my favorite has to be cherry, not only because it would probably be my preferred flavor, but I think also it is like universally like the best flavor as terms to different flavors, whether it's a Slurpee, any drinks, candies, etc. Usually cherry is the most picked flavor out of any of the flavors. And I think overall, even with the cup that is there, I think it works really well with the colors where you got the green, the blue, the black, and the white there. Well, I mean, the black and the white go with the just saying Slurpee in the middle, but you got the two different colors. Like, I mean, the blue raspberry, I think those two different shadings of purple are all right, but I feel like with blue kind of being a darker color and same with purple, it kind of is a little dark to me. And then I didn't even expect that to be pina colada, to be honest, as the flavor. I thought it was like cream soda or something because usually cream soda is white or sometimes it's pink in some cases. Banana, I kind of makes sense because banana is one of those flavors that often is served as a flavor, but it's so weird to me that banana is even a flavor for a Slurpee, but it totally makes sense. And I do like the color scheme that is there with the yellow as terms to these actual Slurpee, and then the cup being purple and blue. I think it makes the yellow pop out well. And I do like the idea of it being glitter. It totally makes sense because of essentially the crystallization, even though I don't think that's a word. I just made that up, but you get the point I'm trying to say of the actual Slurpee where it shows most of the ice crystals in this case. But for some reason, and it might be the first and only time I ever say this, I'm thinking I might rather like this if it was Diamond Collection instead of glitter. And it's so weird for me to say this, but I feel like with the diamond collection, it's more glittery than what actual glitter is. Because the last I see of glitter, it's more of little specks and not so many specks. But I'll have to see these pops in person when they come out.
Diamond Collection Sorcerer Mickey. I love it. I'm surprised I'm saying that, but one of the only Diamond Collection pops that I do own is the original Mickey, because at the time, I believe that was the first Diamond Collection pop too. I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. And Sorcerer Mickey is my favorite Mickey, so I really like this. But I do agree with you that I think the ears should not be Diamond Collection like that. It should just be the clothing and the gloves. And I feel like it would really make that hat pop. The face is the thing that pops on here because it's not Diamond Collection. So if those ears weren't, I feel like it would really make the transition where the hat would pop and you would really be able to see like, oh, look at how cool this looks because it's Diamond Collection. And I also really like that this is Diamond Collection because at least with Fantasia, there's a lot of like sparkles and magic and stuff going on during the movie. So it makes a lot of sense. Then we have the Red Guardian. This is pretty cool. I do agree with you that it's the perfect time to put out a comic book version of this character, and it's overall a decent Marvel pop, so that's not bad. And then Eric Davis, I believe you said this guy's name is?
Yes, as I'm looking at my papers, it is Eric Davis.
Okay. Yes, I'm not a huge fan of baseball besides watching the Blue Jays play because we are Canadian. But this is overall cool, I guess. And then we have the 7-Eleven Slurpees. Now, there's a couple things. One thing that you kind of brought to my attention is that when you first said these should be Diamond Collection, I like shook my head and I was like, no, I like glitter, but not Diamond Collection. But as I think about it, yeah, I could kind of see how this would be cool if it was Diamond Collection because, I mean, obviously, yeah, there's a lot more glitter to it than a glitter pop. And also, if the cup was also Diamond Collection like that, it would make sense because of the perspiration you get on a Slurpee cup, where it goes shiny with a bunch of like speckles of the perspiration on the outside of the cup. So I think that would be really, really good. And then the other thing would be, why are these not scented? These would be so great if they were scented. I mean, I know the scent doesn't usually last a long time on pops, but I mean, it would be so cool to have a 7-Eleven sticker, and then beside it, have a sticker that says glitter and scented. That'd be a brand new sticker and it would be awesome. But unfortunately, we don't have that. But these pops are great. I was thinking I was only going to get one and I was leaning towards cherry because I think that's the best looking one. But then you said that one is pina colada flavored, and I do enjoy myself some pina coladas. And I also think that kind of Hulk Hogan colorway looks super, super cool. But then I thought, you know what? If I'm getting two, I might as well get them all. So I will definitely have to obtain all four of these pops.
What you gonna do, brother, when pina colada runs wild on you? I just thought I would add that. Anyways, guys, that is going to be the end of this week's podcast. If you enjoyed this week's edition of a Funko Popcast, make sure you smash that like button. Comment in the comment section below and let us know your favorite pops from this week, and let us know your opinions on the huge abundance of Foodies Funko Pops. Press that subscribe button for more content like this podcast and any other videos we do on this channel in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. And if you guys haven't yet, follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at a Funko Popcast. It'll be listed in the description below. But anyways, guys, thank you for listening to this week's edition of a Funko Popcast, and we hope to see you guys next week when we present our top 10 Funko Pops of April 2021. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.
You, Deadpool. Peace in, peace out.